The journey of a man who never gave up. In the heart of a remote village nestled between sprawling green fields and rugged mountains, there lived a boy named Arjun, born into a family struggling to make ends meet. Arjun's life was defined by hardship from the very beginning. His father, Raghav, was a farmer toiling day and night in the fields, his hands rough and calloused from years of back-breaking labor. His mother, Radha, was a gentle woman who worked tirelessly at home, ensuring that her family had food on the table, even if it was often just a simple meal of rice and lentils. Arjun's family, like many others in the village, lived in a small mud brick house with a thatch roof that barely kept out the rain during monsoon season. The village was beautiful in its own way, surrounded by nature's bounty, but it was also a place where opportunities were few and far between. Most of the villagers were uneducated, relying on subsistence farming to survive. Poverty was a way of life, and many accepted it as their fate. But Arjun was different. From a young age, he harbored a deep desire to change his circumstances. He was a curious child, always asking questions and eager to learn. He would watch the village school children with envy as they walked to school, their worn-out books tucked under their arms. Although his family could not afford to send him to school, Arjun was determined to learn. He would often sit outside the schoolhouse, listening to the lessons through the open windows, absorbing everything he could. His parents, though supportive of his thirst for knowledge, were burdened by the harsh realities of life. They needed Arjun to help in the fields, to contribute to the family's meager income. But Arjun's determination was uncheckable. He made a deal with his father. He would work in the fields from dawn until noon, and in the afternoon he would study on his own. It was an exhausting routine, but Arjun embraced it with unwavering resolve. Arjun's determination did not go unnoticed. The village schoolteacher, Mr. Sharma, was a kind and observant man who had seen Arjun's dedication. One day, he approached Arjun's parents with a proposition. He offered to teach Arjun after school hours, free of charge. Raghav and Radha were initially hesitant. They needed Arjun's help at home, but they could see how much it meant to their son. Reluctantly, they agreed. With Mr. Sharma's guidance, Arjun's learning accelerated. He devoured every book Mr. Sharma lent him, often staying up late into the night to study by the light of a small oil lamp. The more he learned, the more his world expanded beyond the confines of the village. He began to dream of a future where he could break free from the chains of poverty, where he could give his family a better life. But the road to education was not without its challenges. The other children in the village, many of whom came from slightly better-off families, would often mock Arjun for his worn clothes and his eagerness to study. They would taunt him, saying that no amount of education could change his fate. Arjun, however, was not one to be discouraged. He used their taunts as motivation, fueling his desire to prove them wrong. As the years passed, Arjun's hard work paid off. He excelled in his studies, consistently earning the highest marks in the village school. His reputation as a brilliant student began to spread, and soon he caught the attention of the district education officer during a routine visit to the village. Impressed by Arjun's intelligence and determination, the officer recommended him for a scholarship to a prestigious boarding school in the nearby city. For Arjun, the scholarship was a dream come true, but it was also a difficult decision. It meant leaving his family and the village behind, venturing into an unknown world where he would be surrounded by students from wealthy backgrounds. But Arjun knew that this was his chance to change his life, and he was determined not to let it slip away. With a heavy heart, he said goodbye to his parents and the village he had always known, and set off for the city. The city was a world apart from the quiet, rural life Arjun had known. It was a place of contrasts, towering buildings and crowded streets, luxury and poverty side by side. The boarding school was like nothing Arjun had ever seen before. The sprawling campus, with its manicured lawns and grand buildings, was a stark contrast to the humble village school he had attended. The other students, dressed in their crisp uniforms, spoke English fluently and seemed confident in a way that Arjun found intimidating. At first, Arjun struggled to fit in. His accent, his clothes, and his rural background made him feel like an outsider. He was often teased by his classmates, who would mock his broken English and his unfamiliarity with the city ways. But Arjun was not one to give up easily. He threw himself into his studies with the same determination that had brought him this far. He spent long hours in the library, catching up on the subjects he was unfamiliar with and improving his language skills. Despite the challenges, Arjun's academic prowess soon became evident. His teachers were impressed by his quick grasp of complex concepts and his relentless work ethic. Slowly but surely, he began to earn the respect of his peers. But while his academic life was on the rise, Arjun still faced many personal challenges. The loneliness of being away from his family weighed heavily on him. He missed the simplicity of village life, the warmth of his mother's cooking, and the comfort of his father's presence. To make matters worse, the financial burden of living in the city began to take its toll. Although his tuition was covered by the scholarship, Arjun still needed money for books, supplies, and other expenses. He took on various odd jobs, working as a tutor for younger students, delivering newspapers, and even working in a small grocery store on weekends. The workload was exhausting, but Arjun never complained. He knew that every rupee he earned was a step closer to his dream. Years passed, and Arjun's hard work and perseverance began to bear fruit. He graduated at the top of his class, earning a scholarship to study engineering at one of the country's most prestigious universities. It was a moment of immense pride, not just for Arjun, but for his entire village. News of his achievements spread far and wide, and Arjun became a symbol of hope for others who believed that poverty could never be overcome. University life brought new challenges. The coursework was demanding, and Arjun was now surrounded by some of the brightest minds in the country. But by this point, he had learned not to be intimidated by others' wealth or privilege. He had something far more valuable, an unbreakable spirit and a deep-seated belief in his own abilities. He excelled in his studies, often staying up late into the night to work on projects and assignments. During his time at university, Arjun also became involved in various extracurricular activities. He joined the debate club, where he honed his public speaking skills, and participated in engineering competitions, where his innovative ideas often won him accolades. Despite his busy schedule, he never forgot his roots. He would often visit his village during holidays, sharing his experiences with the younger children and encouraging them to pursue their education. But life was not without its setbacks. In his final year of university, Arjun's father fell seriously ill. The cost of medical treatment was exorbitant, far beyond what the family could afford. Arjun was devastated. He felt helpless, torn between his studies and his family, but true to his nature, he did not give up. He approached his professors and explained his situation, moved by his dedication and his family's plight. They helped him secure a grant to cover his father's medical expenses. With his father's health slowly improving, Arjun returned to his studies with renewed focus. He graduated with honors, earning a degree in mechanical engineering. But the journey was far from over. Arjun knew that finding a job in the competitive world outside the university would not be easy. Many of his classmates had secured lucrative positions through family connections or recommendations, but Arjun had none of these advantages. Arjun faced countless rejections in his job search. He applied to numerous companies, attended interviews, and faced the same question over and over again: why should we hire someone without connections or experience? It was a frustrating and disheartening experience, but Arjun refused to give up. He knew that he had something that could not be measured by a resume: grit, determination, and the ability to overcome adversity. Finally, after months of searching, Arjun landed his first job at a small engineering firm. The salary was modest, and the work was challenging, but Arjun was grateful for the opportunity. He poured his heart and soul into his work, often staying late to ensure that every project was completed to the best of his ability. His dedication did not go unnoticed. Within a year, he was promoted to a senior position, and his responsibilities grew. But Arjun did not stop there. He continued to learn, taking on additional courses and certifications to expand his knowledge and skills. He saved every penny he could, sending money back to his family in the village and investing in his future. His hard work paid off when he was offered a position to a larger company with a significant pay increase. It was a turning point in his career, and Arjun embraced it with the same determination that had carried him through his life. Over the next few years, Arjun's career soared. He took on increasingly complex projects, each one more challenging than the last. His innovative ideas and solutions earned him a reputation as one of the brightest engineers in the industry. But Arjun remained humble. He never forgot where he came from, and he made it a point to give back to his community. He started a scholarship fund for underprivileged children in his village, ensuring that they would have the opportunities that he had fought so hard for. As Arjun's success grew, so did his impact on the lives of others. He became a mentor to young engineers, sharing his story and encouraging them to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey might seem. His story became an inspiration to many, proving that with hard work, determination, and a refusal to give up, anything was possible. Arjun eventually started his own engineering firm, which quickly gained a reputation for excellence and innovation. His company not only provided jobs to many talented individuals, but also focused on sustainable and community-driven projects. Arjun was determined to use his success to make a positive impact on the world, just as he had always dreamed. Years later, as Arjun looked back on his journey, he knew that every struggle, every hardship had been worth it. He had not only transformed his own life, but had also brought hope and opportunity to countless others. The boy who had once been mocked for his poverty had become a man of great success, respected and admired by all who knew him. But more than anything, Arjun's story was a testament to the power of perseverance. He had faced seemingly insurmountable odds, but he had never given up. He had proven that no matter where you start in life, it is the strength of your character, the depth of your determination, and the courage to keep going, even when the road is tough, that ultimately defines your destiny. Arjun's journey was far from over, but he knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them with the same unwavering resolve that had brought him this far. For Arjun, the journey of a man who never gave up was not just a story, it was the essence of his life, a legacy that would inspire generations to come.